This is Cooking in Brooklyn with Danny Milano, and I'm Danny Milano. And today, we're making steak pizzaiola. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Bridgeside Network, and if you're on YouTube, make sure you click that bell notification. But enough of that social media internet stuff. We got a dish to cook. But make sure you like and share my videos. Hey, go Bridgeside. All right, step right up. Here we go. I got some crushed tomato sauce. I got 1 red bell pepper, some garlic cloves, some salt, some black pepper, some fresh parsley, oregano, some mushrooms, olive oil, and let's not forget the steak. Let's get our olive oil going here. Grab our garlic and mix the garlic around a little bit. You don't want to burn the garlic, you just want to kind of brown it. If you burn it, it's going to make the sauce very bitter. Then we're going to grab our red peppers, throw those in. We're going to grab our mushrooms, we're going to throw those in. Let's give that a little mix. Going to add a little bit of salt. We're going to let this sit, and we're going to grab our steak and marinate it a little bit. Grab back our olive oil, some pepper, salt. I'm just going to rub this all in together.
Don't forget the other side.
Dave, thought I heard you breathing. Don't worry about it, Dave. I got you. I'm not going to forget. Flip it over. Some advice from Mr. Casanova. And we're going to do the same thing again. So let's see how our peppers and our mushrooms are doing. Let's give that a little flip. Looking good.
Just look at that hand motion.
Look at that. Next up, we're going to grab our sauce and we're going to pour it right in.
About how much sauce are you using on this one?
This is about 3/4 of a can. So Dave, this dish is called steak pizzaiola. They actually do make this in Italy. Pizzaiola in Italian means pizza maker. They call this pizzaiola because you use some key ingredients that you would make pizza with, hensing the sauce. We're gonna use oregano eventually. You could add cheese. We're not gonna add cheese, Dave. I'm sorry to disappoint you. In Italy, they don't add the cheese as well. Here in New York, you can go to restaurants. A lot of different restaurants make this a little bit different. This is the way I make it. We're gonna grab some oregano and we're gonna grab some fresh parsley. We're just gonna let that sit and cook. In the meantime, we're gonna get started with our steak. All right, so what I got here is a non-stick pan. If you don't have one, you better keep an eye on the steak. Make sure it doesn't stick to your frying pan. Before we put the steak in, I wanna make sure the pan's nice and hot. Grab our steak and we're gonna throw it right in.
Hey Dan, how much time do you cook the steak on each side for?
How do you want your steak cooked?
Medium, of course.
Medium, so we're gonna cook it on each side for about 4.5 minutes then. Because you gotta remember, Dave, we're also throwing it into the sauce and it's gonna cook in there for another few minutes.
So then, you're the expert, you cook it like that.
Good answer. Just gonna put a couple of fork holes, a couple little tiny holes in here so that when we do throw it into the sauce kind of gets absorbed a little bit into the steak. All right, so I'm gonna flip this over. The steak is ready. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna transition the steak into the sauce. Let's let that cook for just a minute. And Dave, we're almost there, baby. This dish is about finished. I'm gonna grab you a dish. Let's grab this steak. And there you have it. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, steak pizzaiola. And now we feed Mr. Casanova.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep. Let me place it down.
This looks amazing. You always outdo yourself. Thank you very much.
Buon appetito. You're gonna like this one.
You know why this dish is so good?
Why?
You know, let's face it, sometimes, you know, steak can be boring, you know? This changes it up a little bit, adds a little character. You have the peppers, the mushrooms, the garlic. There's a lot going on over here, you know?
You know what else is good about this dish, Dave? Is that you don't need to buy the best piece of meat. You know what I mean? You can actually buy a cheap piece of meat and it'll still taste good because the sauce, the peppers, the mushrooms, the garlic, it just makes such a great flavor for the steak or the piece of meat.
I'm gonna go finish the rest of this bone off camera, you know? I don't wanna look like a gavone to everybody.
Dave, you will forever be a gavone. This has been another Cookin' in Brooklyn, and Sundays are for the gavones.
Go Bridgeside.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it as always, but make sure you like and subscribe to the Bridgeside Network, and make sure you stay tuned, because next time we're making my mother's eggplant parmesan.